So I actually like this draft. So remember everything that I said about Flash Wolf's draft in the last game? Mm-hmm. Don't pick Azir first. Pick Kindred Echo on the red side. Take Azir the second round. They take Karma with Sivir this time. Mm-hmm. So this actually fixes a lot of the problems that I saw. And they still have very good kiting from Flash Wolves here. And with the Sona picked again, you have basically no engage. So they're going to be able... Robin, you might want to translate this so Reaper can add to this conversation.
Sorry.
So they can kite back very effectively with the Sivir and the Karma speed and the Azir wall, and they don't... CLG does not have that many ways of engaging in this particular team fight, especially if they play around Flash Sona ult again.
이번에서 또 아치랑이랑 비슷하게 이번에 11호 카르마 아질 있으니까 뒤로 그냥 칼팅하면서 하면 되고 이쪽은 이니시가 소나 플래시 크레센도밖에 없고 또는 라이즈 밖에 없기 때문에 you think Flash Wolves is better, right? Has upper hand, you think?
As a comp?
Yeah.
Against the comp that CLG is running, yes.
CLG 조합보다 이 조합에 대비돼서 이 조합이 좋은 것 같다.
뭐 그럴 수도 있어. 그럴 수도 있는데 다른 생각으로는 11회가 케이틀린이 됐으면 좀 더 나았을 수도.
But on the other hand, he thinks if Sivir was Caitlyn, it could have been better.
Okay.
다른 생각.
This is not saying that your idea is wrong. It's just a different thought.
So
sure.
My question to Reaper is that if you have Caitlyn, and again, it's a general thing we've seen, is that with these Azir 80 carry comps, Azir wave clear comps, you have a lot of issues with not having double TP. So how do you stop a situation like last game where you get to the mid game against double teleport and you just find it very hard to finish the game?
아지르랑 웨이브 클리어 원딜을 골랐을 때 가장 고질적인 문제점이 아지르가 텔포를 안 들어서 상대가 더블 텔포일 때 아까처럼 그렇게 아무도 못하고 그냥 묶여가지고 라인에 있는 경우가 있는데 그런 걸 어떻게 대비를 할 수가 있는지.
Because Caitlyn wants to go mid, put traps, take turret, but then where is Azir going?
그러니까 이게 그 문제점이 항상 나오는 게 더블 텔포를 이제 막 흔들어서 그러는 거잖아. 근데 그것도 적당히 맵 컨트롤 하지 않고 적당히 그냥 텔포 있는 거 알고 살이면 아지르가 미드에 있어. 일단 기본적으로 아지르가 미드에 있는 거고, 근데 기본적으로 수비적인 플레이를 하면서 드래곤이나 바론이 있을 때만 그쪽 주변으로 플레이를 하면은 사실 더블 텔포가 그렇게까지 무섭진 않거든.
The thing with double TP is that they always try to flex it around and try to flank you and stuff and engage on you. But if for example Azir, you let him stay mid and you only bring Caitlyn to trap down and siege when you have objectives like Herald or Dragon.
Yes.
Yes, and then in that case, then double TP isn't that terrible to deal with.
But it creates a very binary playstyle where you 100% have to play around Dragon or you lose.
그럼 너무 수동적이고 예측 가능한 플레이 스타일을 만든다.
그치 뭐 그건 어쩔 수가 없지. 아지르가 텔포를 들어주지 않는 이상은.
As long as Azir doesn't take TP, that's like unavoidable.
Yeah. So it is a different school of thought, but we were talking about that, and a lot of the reason why I think Flash Wolves lost in the last game was CLG was farming 3 lanes, the Flash Wolves were farming 2 lanes because they could only farm 2 with the Varus. Varus needed to be mid just like Caitlyn would be. It's been a long conversation about this tonight before you guys even showed up. So.
우리 오기 전에 엄청나게 길게 했던 얘기가 지난 경기에서 플래시 wolves가 번개를 때가 졌던 가장 큰 이유 중 하나가 CLG는 3라인을 전체를 다 파밍할 수 있는데 얘네는 바루스, 아지르 이렇게 두 명이 묶여가지고 두 라인밖에 파밍 못해가지고 그게 진 원인 중에 큰 요인이 되는 것 같아.
So that's why I like the Sivir I wanted the Sivir in the last game is because Sivir with spell shield and ult can get out. She can clear a wave really fast and just leave if they gank
also,
her.
Sivir Karma is like double Sivir ult almost.
Yeah, exactly. So double Sivir ult when they have no engage except for flash crescendo is super good.
그러니까 지난번에도 얘가 11을 골랐으면 좋았으면 하는 게 그 주문보호막이랑 카르마 도망가는 걸로 할 수 있고 또 궁극기도 11호 궁극기 2번 쓰는 거 비슷하게 카르마, 만트라 이 쓰면 되고 그리고 특히 얘네 상대로 그러니까 하드 이니시가 없는 상대로 이런 되게 발빠른 조합이 좋은 것 같다.
맞아.
Oh, sorry, go.
그리고 이제 11회 같은 경우에 11회랑 그 카르마랑 같이 쓰면 되게 좋은 게 잘라먹기가 되게 좋잖아. 잘라먹기가 되게 좋아가지고 순간적으로 쟤네 순간이동을 뺄 수가 있단 말이야. 그래서 그 부분에 있어서 나도 케이틀린보다 11회가 100배 낫다고 공감해.
Yeah, another great thing about Karma and Sivir together is that they're super good at picking people off. You can just rush in and cut them off. So against double TP, it's really good to draw teleports to the lane and just back off. Is what he's saying.
Somebody in chat says that CLG is running a pick comp, so the lack of engage is an issue. Well, or a poke comp. First off, it's not a poke comp.
No.
You have Rise.
There's no Rise poke
no.
comp.
There's no Rise poke comp
No.
that exists. And second off, your poke is weak early because you have to scale with Nidalee if you're going to buy Rod or whatever you're going to buy on her, and then tier on Ezreal. And third off, the idea behind Flash Wolves is, again, they have to have priority on the dragon because they want to kite. If you're playing a kite composition, you have to force them to engage on you, not the other way around. They do not need the engage as long as they have winning lanes, and they do. Azir into Rise, Echo into Poppy, they're going to be fine in the laning phase. So as long as they can push up, move to dragon, and then force CLG to fight, their comp is good.
얘 생각은 그거 지금
다
채팅에서
알았어.
다 들었어 다?
Let's roll the tape, Monty. We gotta get into this game.
I think it would be more than fine. It's about to go live. Sports will tell
Do you miss Shanghai?
the game. We are
No.
going into
Yeah.
Never.
game. We are on the rift for game 4 of Chronologic Gaming versus Flash Wolves.
Revisit and pick up where full health lanes that are not going to attract attention.
That obviously that influences your start. Maybe who
Nick Smithy plays really well this game.
Yeah.
This time you don't need to press tab to see who's
내가 이 경기를 안 봐서 잘 모르겠지만 사실 그 선수들이 경기장 가면 손해 보는 걸 되게 무서워하거든.
I didn't watch this match, so I'm not sure. But players, when they're on stage, they're super scared about losing stuff out, like losing trades and losing things like that.
근데 저런 텔포가 두 개인 조합 상대로는 손해를 볼 수밖에 없단 말이야.
Against a double TP comp like that, you kind of have to give things up in the game.
그러면은 손해를 감수하고 좀 과감하게 하는 플레이가 나왔으면 좋겠어. 난 이 경기에서 봤으면 좋겠어.
He's like, I hope I see some plays that they give up something and then just all in on something. And
You're not going to see that. Flash Wolves get wrecked this game. This is very one-sided for CLG, which is weird.
Smithy plays really well.
Surprisingly.
Hey man.
He's been pretty good all
Honestly,
tournament.
in playoffs he played super well, and
This tournament he's played well.
내가 선수 때 잘했던 것도 하나가 그냥 아 모르겠다 그냥 가자 이런 걸 되게 잘했거든. 이거 아니면 답이 없다 이런 걸 되게 잘했단 말이야. 그래서 선수들도 어차피 손해를 보는 상황에서 손해를 볼 수밖에 없으니까 감수하고 뭔가 만들어내는 그런 능력이 있었으면 좋겠어.
One of the things that I was good when I was a player, he says, is being able to say, oh, you know what, fuck it, let's just go and commit to something with the team. And he wants to see players being able to say, you know what, we give this up and we go in on this. We just go ham on something.
Rush should be his jungler then.
정글 멋있으네.
Guy goes nuts all the time. But in this game, at least with this start, I mean, it's nothing too weird. Both sides, both dual lanes take the Gromp. Red start over here for Flash Wolves means that Echo is going to be delayed. And Poppy, because there is a Krug start on the other side, is going to be able to get here, but there's also harassment here from Sword Art onto the buff.
lying in wait.
Why is MMD staying up here for so long? Why is Sona in mid lane?
They're also doing this
Ooh.
swap again, that's why.
오,
Ooh.
플래시 큐.
Man mode.
That's actually not worth it all. That's actually a really bad trade for CLG.
It's very funny though.
It's hilarious, but why would you trade 1 kill on your support for 1 kill on the mid lane Azir?
But it feels good, man. It
Feels
feels good, man.
Feels good, man.
Yeah.
Alright, so Reaper's already memeing. Great.
I've taught him well.
You
In the art of
have.
meeting.
So we see this swap back again. So Echo actually isn't going to join up for the double jungle, which is interesting choice. And CLG is going to send Sona. This is very interesting in late swap. We very rarely see this, especially with a Sona. Yeah, real weird. Also, Sword Art takes Ignite this game, which I don't like. If you are going to take one exhaust in this game, take Teleport on Azir and take exhaust on Karma.
Sure.
That's my opinion. Right? Right, Reaper?
근데 저 말을 들으면은 세니까
But Ignite is strong.
기분이 좋잖아.
Would you rather have TP Azir exhaust Karma or Exhaust Azir Ignite Karma?
나 같으면 텔포 들게 했을 때.
Yeah, if I were the team, I'd probably take TP.
Yeah.
Sana
Feels good, man.
That feel when you have to exhaust the Sana.
A,
It was a creative play by
플래시
CLG.
Q, A, yeah.
He pulls the creep wave too. What?
Nice. Sort of, it's like, what's going on?
Well, he's heading
up?
top actually. He has places to be.
Stop crinkling the paper.
Sorry.
Alright, so back down to the bottom side, so we are going to get the 1v1. So Flash Wolves intentionally, so they swapped lanes to get Echo versus Poppy and Sivir Karma versus the Sona Ezreal lane. But this allows them to put all pressure on, because the Sivir will wave clear faster, and the Echo will wave
They
clear
could have
faster.
3 pushed in lanes.
Yeah, they have 3 push lanes now.
Oh shit. I'm sending Robin on a beer run, so I might be on translation duty. Which means in my drunken state, I need to actually pay attention to what Reaper is saying. 좀 쉽게 얘기해. 나 지금 술 마셔서 못하겠어.
Maybe Reaper can just use his excellent English. It's okay.
아니면 Reaper, just talk in English.
No problem. I talked to Reaper about many things in English. But he's had a couple of surgeries. So.
Also, Rise TP and Flash. Rise Flash, watch.
When?
When?
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Wrecked. So we got MMD's Flash for that, but they used one of their TPs, so now they only have one. And they're actually ahead in gold, somehow.
I mean, to be fair, remember, Flash will swap back and stuff, so they...
They're 4 CS down. And they're 4 CS up in mid lane. It's a little weird that they're the
It's
gold
3
so
CS
even.
in jungle, I guess. Maybe it's a big creep. Who knows?
But being 100k or 100 gold up is kind of odd, considering the circumstances.
It might just be the bonus gold. Do you still get bonus gold from the jungle item finish? I don't even know.
I don't know either.
They tweak that stuff all the time.
여기까지만 봐서는 CLG가 플래시 루브즈가 되게 좋아 보이는데?
못 들었어, 뭐?
여기까지만 봐서는 플래시 루브즈가 되게 좋아 보인다고.
I mean, up till now, it looks like Flash Wolves are doing really well.
Yeah,
That happened
agreed.
in a few games, actually.
전에 있었던 게임들도 비슷하게 그랬어. 초반에는 플래시 wolves가 잘해.
오!
So MMD did not have Flash, so they tried the dive, but Darshan didn't have Flash either on Poppy, so it doesn't really work.
By the way, you know what means MMD?
No.
미쿠 미쿠 댄스.
Miku Miku dance.
Oh,
What
dear.
does that mean?
That's like Hatsune Miku?
I have
Same,
no-
same
Can you
Miku?
do the Miku Miku dance?
I don't know. 그 미쿠 미쿠 댄스가 뭐냐면은 그 홀로그램의 그
Yeah,
미쿠
Hatsune Miku.
It's like a hologram
Yeah.
dance.
그 애니메이션 캐릭터 나와가지고
So
춤추는
Hatsune
It's like
Miku
a-
is like an anime girl
Yeah,
character
it's
that
an
I know
animation.
PewDiePie is famous for loving.
Okay, it's an animation hologram that dances, and that's what
I have no-
Don't worry, Twitch chat knows exactly what you're talking.
Miku Miku dance.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you sure you want to search for this?
So that's why it's MMD.
That's Hatsune Miku, by the way. She's like a... Yeah.
Alright, I can't handle this in my brain.
Go back to your whiskey and 40s jazz. man.
I will. I can't keep up with the kids and their
Miku Miku dances.
Miku Miku dances. I just want to drink nice whiskey and listen to
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra and John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman.
Room prison's down, but they won't have to chase straight across the map who he knows he has guard and vision.
I found it interesting that Papa actually knew it. Like, oh yeah, that Miku Miku dance.
I've heard of Hatsune Miku.
Can you do it for us?
I've literally never watched any of her stuff, but like, PewDiePie loves it. Like, a lot of people love her stuff.
Does he love it?
Yeah.
Does he really love it, or does he ironically
I
love
think
it?
he actually loves it. But like, it's hard to tell with Cutie Pie, right?
God bless.
Ooh, owned. To be fair, Carson did this in many games.
So let's look at the setup for this, because they know everybody's here right now. Maple's going to back off. They walk into a warded brush and they clear it. I mean, Karsa plays this really well. That was a great play by Karsa.
Yeah.
Has he been like 3-0 every Kindred game?
Yeah, he's good. Karsa's... Let's talk about Xmithy, because I know the casters talked about this later, but this is a pretty stacked tournament in terms of junglers. Blank when he's on is good, but Karsa, MLXG, this quality of jungler, Trick, who is the EU LCS MVP.
Took down SKTT1 for CJ.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
This was actually pretty disrespectful by Poogie, but
Carson starting off another game, and now it's up to Flash Wolves this game to keep this lead, to not get lackadaisical once they find it, and allow CLG to adapt, to allow Huhi back to the side lanes. We'll see how Carson can keep.
지금까지는 지는 그림이 조금 상상이 안 되긴 하는데 여기까지 봤을
I
때.
mean, watching up till now, I can't even imagine them losing.
Exactly.
you should see
look,
game
look,
2.
Look,
Game
look.
3.
Pushed.
Yeah.
And got
Two-
many
two-
kills.
Many kills.
kills.
And so 2-0-0 Kindred jungle with all lanes pushed. Like, how do you lose this game?
To be fair, he was 3-0-0 Kindred jungle last game.
I'm just saying, like, this is
This
an amazing position for Flash Wolves to be in. In fact, they were smart enough to swap back into their pushing lanes. So the strategy is very good.
내가 볼 때 이거는 그 얘네가 못한다거나 전략이 나빴다거나라는 느낌보다는 그냥 긴장? 경기에 대한 적응? 뭐 그런 문제인 것 같아 나는.
I mean, when he sees this, it's more so than they played badly or they had bad strategy. It's just maybe they were like anxious, or they just had some sort of like something was blocking them in that sense.
몰라 근데 나는 경기 앞에 걸 못
I mean,
봐가지고.
he didn't watch the earlier games either, but it just makes it look like they're just playing apprehensively. As
I mean, they
opposed
take
to...
the advantage in game 3 and 4, and maybe by the end of this game it's like the sinking feeling, right, when you're 2-1 down, but...
여기 이쯤 되면은 이제 2대1로 지고 있으니까 그거일 수도 있고.
It's sad, because,
They're doing super well.
like, what I thought about Flash Wolves this tournament, some games, very, very good, some
yeah.
games, don't understand, so... They have the biggest difference between good and bad. So much difference.
Yeah, bad for CLG always. Good for SKT.
SKT,
Yeah.
We call that playing to the level of your opponents.
That's true.
레벨에 맞춰서 게임을 한다.
Who wins tomorrow? SKT, CLG.
SKT.
What's the score?
그게 롤이라는 게임이 원래 지들끼리 막 존나 치고받고 싸우다가 결국 SKT가 우승하는 게임이야.
The game of League of Legends is a game where everyone just goes against each other and they play and they get to the top and they just lose to SKT.
So what's the score? 3 what? 3-0? 3-1? 3-2?
I hope so. 3-1.
3-1?
3-1. 아니면 CLG가 그냥 이겨버려도 난 좋긴 한데.
And he'd be really happy if CLG can just win it all too.
We all would be happy if CLG could win it.
SKT가 맨날 이기면 재미없잖아.
Because it wouldn't be fun if SKT just wins all the time.
I don't know, I like watching Faker win.
Faker 이기는 것도 잘해줘.
But I do agree it would be fun to see a
네,
CLG win
CLG
tomorrow.
이기면
Throughout the entirety of the series, Flashes have been afraid of a second boost side rotation Azir if Ryze was locked in early. But this time they actually went for the good picks here. They got the highest value.
Yeah,
the highest value
Twitch chat doesn't agree with you.
team.
You wouldn't be happy, Monty. You want SKT to win.
I
dope.
actually
Mr.
would like
Felicio,
Korean fellatio
enthusiast.
enthusiast. I need a Korean fellatio enthusiast emote.
Is the
But
Brazos?
maybe my subscriber should be called Korean fellatio enthusiasts instead.
KFEs?
KFEs. I also would like a League of Legends scene where tournaments were more exciting and SKT didn't win everything all the time.
I'd like a League of Legends Championship Korea scene where SKT didn't win every time.
Yeah, we all would like that.
So 항상 토너먼트에 SKT가 항상 우승하는
Tournaments,
상황이 아니었으면
LCK,
좋겠다.
everything. Always SKT.
인터내셔널도 아니야. 한국에서도 우승 좀 그만했으면 좋겠다.
So sad.
한번 EDG가 이겼잖아.
It's okay. EDG won once.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Very good win too. It's one of the. I think it's one of the best best of fives of all time.
I think it was second in 2015 to LGD EDG. The actual spring final was super good.
It was good. I don't know if I would say it was second best, but that's all right.
I mean, like it gets bonus
We-
points.
we were-
right?
어느 게 더 재밌었어? LGD vs EDG 시리즈 아니면 SKT EDG?
Which one would you think was better?
언제?
Spring final or
스프링
MSI
파이널?
final?
아니면 MSI 파이널?
MSI 파이널.
It was much bigger, obviously.
I think that was the best series of 2015.
I think it's because EDG actually got to beat SKT.
Well, but it was the way they beat them too, and it was very interesting strategic series.
I mean, like they beat LGD with a flash Sivir pentakill from Deft.
that was pretty
No,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
But look, we're not going to argue that those were the top two
Yeah.
best of fives of 2015, but I do think MSI was more impactful and also more interesting.
Zoning them off a wave and trading this for Dragon. I wonder if it's gonna be worth here for CLG if they actually are able to zone them off this turret.
It is if MMD can.
Hey, you have a Korean watcher here.
Trading this
Ooh.
래프트님 선수 활동하실 때 제일 기억에 남는 경기가 무엇인가요?
제일 기억에 남는 경기?
The
제일
most
기억에
memorable game that you've encountered.
제일 기억에 남는 경기는 스프링 결승 그냥?
Spring final?
2012 스프링 결승이 제일 기억에 남는. 아무래도 처음 우승한 거니까.
2012 spring final because it was his first.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
그리고 내가 다 뽀겠잖아. 머리 막 잭스로 그냥 대가리 막 다 뽀개고 다녔는데.
He pretty much floored, like he bodied everybody.
Yep, I remember. What is the best of five ever played in League of Legends, Reaper?
Best
of five,
series.
best series, best of five. LOL의 전체적으로 best of five.
I know what
was
Monty thinks the answer is.
베스트 5? 만드는 거 말고 만들어져 있던 거?
already played, right?
Yeah, in history.
지금까지 그러니까 LOL 역사에서 best of five 시리즈가 오는 거였어.
재밌었던 걸로?
most fun
No. He knows strategy. What is the best series?
strategy
전략적으로?
전략적으로.
제일 베스트였던 건 2013 시리즈들은 다 그랬던 것 같고
All the ones in 2013 he thinks were.
왜냐면 그때 막 이제 메타가 정립되던 시기여가지고
That's when the meta was.
To choose one.
2013. We agree on 2013.
2013 is a good year.
Yeah, good year. But 그 중에서 제일 재밌었던 하나.
제일
시리즈.
재밌었던 거?
시리즈.
윈터?
Winter 2013.
Really? That's a very interesting answer. Frost versus Sword.
난 프로스트 지는 게 좋아가지고
Because it was just so good just to
That
see
was
Frost
with-
lose.
That's not the answer I wanted. That was like Cloud Templar accidentally picking Trundle and then like Prey playing Twitch.
야
Come on, man.
That's for him. 전략적으로는.
전략적으로? 글쎄 전략적으로 뭔가 감명 깊었다라고 할 만한 시리즈는 없었던 것
There
같은데
weren't really anything where he was like, oh, that was.
Because Monty
strategically
famously
amazing.
loves.
왜냐면 그때 나는 선수였고
Because at the time I was a player.
Yeah.
그때 막 메타가 적응되고 막
And I
내가
was just, like,
만들고 막 이렇게
getting used to
바뀌고
the
그러는 거
meta and like trying to like figure things out and everything was changing.
그래서 뭐 그냥 뭔가 느낌으로 내가 막 메타가 이런 게 전략이 막 매력적이었다 재밌었다 이런 건
So at
없었던
the
것 같아.
time, he didn't really have the whole like, oh, the strategy here and this new meta is wonderful. Like he didn't have any
아니면
of that.
전략적으로 제일 재밌었던 건 2012 시리즈 왜냐면은 13 이후에 14로 넘어갈 때 시바나 레넥턴 맨날 나왔잖아. 그건 진짜 재미없었고 12에는 막 우콩도 나오고 막
Maybe like right in 2012 because that's like before the whole Shyvana Renekton every top
Yeah.
kind of game. So those times were very
Because
fun. And
Monty's
very
favorite series is KT.
KT Bullets SKT.
Yeah, I
summer
remember.
2013.
Yeah, I remember that. 그것도 진짜 재밌었지.
Yeah, that was very good too.
KT 카카오 있던 팀이
KTA Blue
블루 블루 야.
You like that one? That's the second best one. That's what I mean. But I understand people argue with me and they say, "Oh no, KT Arrows versus Blue is better." But I think those two series are the best ever.
I agree.
Alright. Alright, we'll get back to the game now. Robin's
Hi,
back
man.
with beer.
Holy shit, the convenience store right in front of your house was closed.
아, 나 그리고 그 경기로 돌아가기 전에 한마디만 더 하면은
Before we go back to the game, can we say one more thing? He said?
나 그 KT랑 삼성 블루랑 거 현장에서 봤는데 진짜 너무 재밌었어.
He saw the game, the KT and 누구?
그
블루.
So
블루
KT
삼성 블루.
Blue. He actually watched it in the arena. He was like, "Oh my god,
And
that was
Busan on the
Yeah.
beach. It was
much
great.
fun. That
It
was
was
amazing.
It was an amazing final. I don't think anybody disagrees that those are the two best Champions finals ever. So.
Oh, good. Robin's back. I don't have to do translation anymore. I will drink this beer. Thank you,
So
Robin.
I bought the name of the beer. I
Yeah.
bought this many. I want to buy
Cloud
this
five?
bit more.
Yeah.
All right.
See if CLG can capitalize. 'Cause I
Why?
love
Cloud.
a first outer turret for early dragon.
Oh, 'cause
Yeah.
it's called Cloud.
Shh.
Okay.
This is huge. Oh, good.
I can see the name of the beer.
This game.
Just hold it like this.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, great job, Papa.
I'm really hiding everything today.
Yeah.
Looks like he knows what's possible with this champion. It's hard for him to pull it off, as we've seen multiple times, but he respects it and he's able to make sure his enemies can't pull it off either.
So, credit to the way CLG plays right here, because they play around the dragon take really well, right? So they're going to trade a turret for it, because immediate gold is actually very important to CLG, and Xmithia does a really good job of zoning off the turret.
This is at one point, and CLG can go for a double dive at top lane here. He's low. He's playing with a sheet into a complete defensive item, and generally in the game, offensive items kind of have less benefit as defensive. That's why tanks are so annoying to play against, especially with good base.
Because gold right now is very important to Ezreal to ramp him up early with the rise. If you have double tier and you can get a gold advantage, so if you have 2 tiers and you can trade a turret for a dragon, that's actually a very good trade for you at this point in the game.
면 두 개에다가 터렛이랑 터렛 두 개 영역 바꾸면 되게 괜찮은 거다.
그리고 그, 맞는 말이고 그리고
You're correct.
그리고 저기 저 골렘 위에 있는 저 워드 있잖아. 골렘 위에 있는 저 워드 저거 안 지우면 큰 사고로 이어지지 않을까?
요거?
어 그거.
The ward right above the red side Krugs. If Flash Wolves don't erase that, he thinks it's gonna be catastrophic for them. Maybe.
저게 투텔포 상대할 때는 저런 와드 항상 지워야
So
되거든.
he's talking about this right here.
Yeah, right.
that ward right there. Against double TP, you always have to get rid of wards like that.
Because if you overextend, you
Yeah.
get crushed. Yeah. Good observation.
That was some hoo-hee shit right there.
No, it wasn't. No, Robin. Do you know why it wasn't? Here, let me show you the difference. You see how Huhi had to use his flash? So in previous games, when Huhi tried to do this, Maple just walked away. So if you're going to trade an ult for a flash in this matchup, you're going to be A-okay. Very good. You want to trade ult for flash. 100%.
No fear, but respect. See, who he knows what the pinnacle of his year looks like. He knows what's possible with it.
얘네가 이 다음에 어떤 선택을 할지 되게 궁금한데. 플래시 로브즈가.
He's very curious what kind of choice Flash Wolves is gonna make after this.
At the very least. If I can't do it, you can't do it.
By the way, you should listen to what Kobe says here. It's hilarious.
But it's
Boxing?
No. Go
Analogies?
back and listen to what Kobe says about it.
at the very least.
Go back.
He knows what's possible with this champion. It's hard for him to pull it off, as we've seen multiple times, but he respects it and he's able to make sure his enemies.
It's really, really funny.
That's
He's like brushed good as ears, so he knows to flash early. Is what he said basically.
he knows what's possible even if he can't execute it.
It's really funny.
Fantastic.
That's some excellent casting.
That is really good casting.
That's the most Riot way of saying something bad.
Ooh.
Hey man, you gotta do that when you're casting. You know, you gotta be creative when you're.
Yep. Everybody does it.
It's like when casters say interesting a million times a cast, and they're not actually.
Everyone says interesting nowadays.
No one is interested. People are just thinking it's bad.
And you have to wonder at what point is Maple just going to give up?
At what point is Maple?
No,
just
this is funny as well.
Technically, you still trade control. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if there is that point.
No, there isn't that point. That was a really good trade.
Yes, he gets the cooldown advantage, so when his ulti comes up again, he can go for the play. But
Hilarious.
I don't know if there is that point. Dude doesn't need to capitalize to get the ball rolling here.
No, Crepo comes back and it's like, yeah, I screwed up. Don't worry.
Up again, he can go for the play. But
By the way, guys, we're not making fun of the casters. Casting for multiple hours at a time with no script, and adapting live is very difficult.
I can confirm. I've seen you.
We all
Matt,
make mistakes.
Go
we
all just
we all make
degrade
mistakes.
mentally.
We all make
over
mistakes.
Like the course of 7-hour OGN days.
Yeah, we all make mistakes.
Very interesting choice there, baiting Darshan into the fight. Lands respite still available.
That was a good play by Darshan, though. He actually stopped a 4-man dive by doing that.
It looked crazy at the start, but it was actually fairly safe.
No, it was very safe.
Well, I mean, remember, like at the start, it's just a 1v4, right?
But they have the information that they need, and Darshan going in early and knocking them up prevents them from doing any kind of engage. And it's a really, I think this is beautifully played by Darshan.
I mean, he uses flash, obviously, but it does keep the turret
think-
health.
It keeps the turret up and it keeps him from dying. You know, and they commit 4 people to the bottom side.
Also, had Xmithy's spear hit Karsa instead of Sword Art, then it would have killed him had he not ulted.
Sure.
Yeah.
You also have to consider, too, here that Ezreal is free farming in the top side. And what is CLG's goal right now? It's just buying time. They just want time for their double tiers to stack.
Yeah.
Reaver's just going to mimic me for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Spear not to start it off, so he can't mark Sword Art. Now they're on NL. The spell shoot goes down, which means they can mark it.
This is actually a really good play, all things considered. It looked like it was a bad Sona ult, but it forced the pathing.
The zoning crescendo, the best one
The zoning crescendo. True.
감성 되신다.
they're able to capitalize because CLG, as we said, they were closing in. They had so many people trying to capitalize on the previous play for Flash Wolves, where Flash Wolves just showed their whole hand. But now,
What a beautiful play. That's where they keep going for it. Maple's never gonna give up. He locks down Huhi. Afram, who's forced to run out of that, and Flash Wolves realize.
플래시 오브가 잘했네 이거는.
Well, it's a
Flash
good...
played that well.
Yeah, and if he hadn't taken Rise's flash earlier with that ultimate,
You know,
would've
you
been
can look at
possible.
him and not me when you're top. Right?
No, I don't look at Reaper. It's like looking at God. It's too bright.
Oh, that's just a lamp. I'm sorry. Do you want me to move it? Because
I avert my gaze out of respect.
myself, and luckily for Afro, CLG
Mr. Translator's name is Robin.
George.
No! I
name
do not
is
want
Robin
that man to
George.
get any more credit,
His
me
name
or
is-
otherwise.
It's ironic, but his name is Robin George. That's his full name.
Oh, Robin
You go.
George.
This play by Karsa was
So
just
bad.
trash.
What the fuck is he doing?
This was a trash play. We would have called this interesting.
Suregi play.
Sigi.
Draggy play.
This was a play you would call interesting if you were trying to avoid. Because like, just consider what happens and then what he does.
이게
His top laner is dead.
Uh huh.
레드를 너무 주기 싫었던 거야.
He really didn't want to give him the red.
No, you really. But like, his top laner is dead. He has his.
He flashed
His
right
mid
there.
laner is in base. His AD carry is bottom lane, and the guy just died.
그러니까 내가 죽는다는 위험보다는 저 레드를 주기 싫었던 거야.
Rather than being concerned about his own life, he really just didn't want to give him the fucking red.
Well,
정글러니까.
Because he's
Jungler.
jungler, and they're losing. It's the last game.
but they weren't losing. Like,
왜 한
they're doing
번씩
fine.
They
한
weren't
번씩
losing.
그
Well, they are now that they're 3,000 gold behind.
왜 한 번씩 탑라이너들도 그 탑신병 못 고쳐가지고 경기 던질 때가 있잖아.
Top laners also get super attached to CS and all that junk, and sometimes throw the game. Same deal.
But how? Let's talk about this. How is CLG 3,000 gold ahead?
Well, they weren't,
It's the jungle. Like, look at Xmithy's CS difference right
and that's
now.
why I was impressed with Smithy. Smithy like pumps the CS this game.
something that's very invisible.
But he's also playing a great champion to do that.
So,
Oh, sure.
Reaper, do you see? Gold, but even kills, but this. Oh.
이게 니달리가 확실히 갱을 덜 다니고 그 라인 수합 단계에서 아군 원거리 딜러 쪽을 따라가 주면서 커버 플레이를 했지 갱을 다니지 않았잖아.
Nidalee did not go for ganks in early game into a lane swap. Nidalee followed and traced the
Yep.
AD carry and took all the camps.
아주 정석적인 플레이를 하면서 파밍을 잘했고 칼사 같은 경우에는 미드갱을 자주 가면서 CS를 좀 덜 먹을 수밖에 없었지.
Yeah, CLG played a really classic standard way of lane swap with Nidalee, and Carson on the other hand had to cover mid and gank from mid, and he gave up a lot of CS for that.
근데 칼사가 조금 더 똑똑하게 했으면 저 정도까진 차이가 안 났을 거야 내가 볼 때.
But he thinks had Carson played it a little bit more smartly, then it would not have been that much of a difference.
It's like he's behind even though he has 2 kills more because the CS is just.
이즈리얼을 못 보고 그냥 소나를 죽이고 싶었나 보다.
He thinks he may have missed the Ezreal, didn't see him, and just wanted to kill Sona, possibly.
순간적인 그 판단으로.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, you
like
can understand
momentary.
what he wanted to do, but
Yeah.
like when the rest of your team is nowhere near, it's like.
And your top laner's dead. And your mid laner has no
He just
TP.
died literally in that tri-bush right next to him, so kind of odd.
CLG had when they were playing from behind.
근데 지네들 더 까서 뭐 하겠어. 이해하려고 노력해줘야지.
What's the point of trying to diss your teammates in this kind of situation? You gotta help them back up, I guess. That's what he's saying.
이 CLG가 했던 거 그대로 따라하네.
They just follow exactly what CLG did.
Flash was like panic gank brush a lot.
Like, what is this? You're 16 minutes into the game. Who does this at 16 minutes? Your entire composition is based around lane pressure. Why are you, like, waiting for them to walk into your 16-minute pink ward brush?
I mean, they do this every game, but this is just by far the earliest.
라인 주도권 기반 조합에서 왜 이딴 짓 하고 있는지 모르겠어.
Remember what happened last time though? It was Aphromoo on the Janna.
Yeah, Karma's gonna do a lot for your fucking gank right here.
Idea of moving up, but you have to be a little
Flash
bit more
snare.
safe because Flash will still control.
But the problem with that decision is that they waste time, and instead of putting pressure on the lanes and they're winning matchups, they're sitting there allowing the minion waves to push at them.
Well, it's one of those things where we have 3 winning lanes. Let's sit in a brush for a while.
저기에서는 시간 낭비, 주도권 주고 라인 다 밀리고.
Many times in the playbook. Afro not gonna face check this time around though.
How is this happening?
CLG will slowly move in to reestablish on their red jungle.
Why is Echo at his tier 2 turret?
Because they have no vision and he got ganked last time, I guess.
Actually start anything off here. He's got a 1,400 gold in his pocket, which would be a very nice upgrade item for him to keep going with these fights. The Nashers is finished.
I like how no one's building. The only Nidalee we've seen this tournament building Rod of Ages.
Oh,
That was really nice.
that was
by
very
CLG.
nice. I'm actually surprised Carson got his ult down.
Coordination was sick. Where's the teleport? Let's watch the teleport timing because it's really good. Because remember, this is still the same pink water brush. Oh, Poppy just walks down. He doesn't even have teleport.
A lot of power to be sitting on your back or sitting back with.
이게 그 킨드레드들이 되게 자주 하는 실수인데 상대방이 조인하는 팀에 조인하는 와중에 적정을 들어가서 스택 쌓으려고 하는 게 되게 큰 리스크거든.
But how sick is this? Darshan walks from top, gets the wall stun as Aphromu's gonna get a line Sona ultimate on both.
So this is actually a fairly common mistake that most Kindred players make, is to go for really aggressive stacks when your team's being pressured.
지금 이미 이 전 플레이로 인해서 저기 부시에서 기다리는 플레이로 인해서 주도권을 다 넘겨줬잖아. 라인 주도권을. 우리가 먼저 밀고 있는 상황이면 저렇게 들어가도 되지. 근데 저기서 지가 만든 플레이 때문에 저렇게 시간 낭비되고 동선 낭비됐었는데 지가 저길 들어가면 어떡해.
So because they camped that brush and were just jacking off in there, they lost all pressure, like Monty said. The waves all pushed in. So had they been pressuring and pushing the lanes, it would have been fine to go in. But after he stays in that brush and let them push in, you just cannot do that. You
So
can't go
after
for a
losing
stack.
all lane pressure, you can't
Yeah,
go for a
yeah,
greedy
yeah. Of
stack.
course, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fundamental.
Complete vision control in one area.
Robin, you're really good at
Waiting,
fencing.
and right as the dragon
I know. I'm just kidding.
You just Han Solo'd her, damn.
You can leave now.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to freeze you in Carbonite now.
The most awkward.
Gonna get the stack. Oh,
You
wait.
were already the most awkward, Robin. It's okay. Whether you're frozen in
I'm not
Carbonite or
Yeah,
not.
you're pretty awkward.
How am I awkward?
Have you met Min?
Oh, that's true.
Have you met George? That was
No,
one
no,
awkward
you
guy.
need
I
to
wouldn't say
meet
George
Min.
is awkward.
I know, man.
He is the he's king of awkwardness to me.
Min is king. Period.
Yeah.
Since it's a double item
Okay.
Ezreal, as Sivir, you're so scared of this. You can't join the fight. Stixay's got
투텔포 조합 상대로 글로벌 골드 밀리기 시작하면 되게 힘든데.
It's really hard to come back against the double TP composition when you fall behind in gold.
Exactly. So don't jack off in the brush.
They're 6k gold behind and they are down in turrets. How did they lose every winning lane matchup and a winning jungle matchup?
어떻게 다 이기는 매치업에서 다 지고 정글도 지고 이런지 모르겠대.
가서 물어봐 상하이가.
Go ask him, Chiang.
Go Shanghai, go ask them yourself. That's what he said.
Well, now it'll be Taiwan.
Wait,
They're
no,
packing it
Achilles
up.
knows steak. Get Achilles to ask steak.
All right, Coach Steak.
Just after your loss, how did you lose this game? Is probably not the best question
makes me
to ask.
really-
I really think that Flash Wolves, for the first time in this series, had a superior draft, and I'm super sad.
이번 시리즈 처음에서 프레셔 불즈가 제대로 조합을 썼는데 되게 슬프다.
아 근데 이게 진짜 무조건 이긴다 무조건 진다 그런 게 없잖아 조합이. 근데 지는 그림이 이렇게 지는 그림이 나올 줄은 몰랐네.
I mean, obviously you can't. He says, obviously you can't say, oh, this comp beats this comp always. You know, there's no 100% anything.
of course.
But he did not imagine they would lose with this comp in this manner.
Yeah. Why are they grouping?
Poppy.
Feels bad, man.
It's great seeing.
문태가 말한 대로 하네.
They do exactly what Monty said.
한 명 자르고 도망가네.
They just pick one off and run away,
카이팅 비슷하게.
like hiding.
Honestly, it's great watching Darshan play so good. Like
Yeah, it is. It's
he's
really good.
developed so much as a teleport
player.
player. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
crazy.
great. It is insane, actually.
And that's the thing is like, you know, like people. I was talking about the most important player of CLG, and I say Darshan. A lot of people say Aframu, but like
Right now,
it's one
in
of those
this
things
meta,
where Aframu like has always been really good, but Darshan has gone from
Well-
being one note really good to being just really good.
really good. And that's why I said when we were talking about the match tomorrow, if CLG wins, the way CLG wins the final versus SKT is with Darshan's teleports being faster than Duke's. I think that is the only way they win.
But Dukes are so bad that you come to the issue that it doesn't matter how much you dunk laning phase if you don't show up because you're 8,000 golds.
I
worth nothing.
totally agree. So I say if CLG wins tomorrow, I don't think they will. If CLG does win, that's going to be the most deciding factor.
이긴 다음에 승부 조건이 다르샤의 텔레포트다. 듀크가 텔레포트 못하니까.
그 텔레포트도 그렇고 CLG가 이기려면은 우리 스택세이가 존나 잘해줘야 되지 않을까?
Yeah, not just the teleport, but Big Dexy has to show up tomorrow if they want to win.
뱅이 지금 솔직히 보여주고 있는 기량이 LCK에서부터 MSI까지 기량이 너무 좋은 모습을 많이 보여주고 있어가지고 뱅 상대로 얼만큼 해줄지 그리고 반대로 역으로 압박을 넣어준다 라고 한다면 진짜 게임 모를 수도 있을 것 같아.
Because Bang has been playing out of his mind since LCK and through MSI, his form has just been getting better and better. And I think he thinks that based on the amount of pressure that he can fight back, Stixon can fight back against Bang, and if he can perhaps apply pressure to Bang, then maybe they can win.
He's not going to apply pressure. I'm not worried about that.
Bang is fucking.
어?
Wait, what? He's died. Okay.
What?
What?
And then the Kindred ult
The
comes
Sword Art
down.
is full health and then it's dead.
What?
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 So who he just because who's
Quality
in the
camera
Russian
work.
pink
We'll
ward?
get a replay of this.
He's in a
for sure.
pink ward.
Carson there. And obviously CLG is going to say thank you very much. We'll take control of the bounce side.
And everyone's dying for Flash Wolves off
Wait,
camera.
what?
What? Everybody died for Flash Wolves
Oh,
off
flash
camera.
off, flash off.
Oh man.
Soda is such a strong champion. So fast we couldn't even see it.
All right, we're gonna get back to these kills, I'm sure, with the replay.
I wonder if we're gonna have another final with SKT in it, the Ezreal's contested pick again.
Doubt it. CLG does not pick save for the stick save.
Pick save for the sticks.
I mean, they
Sure.
do, right? They go reaching for Caitlyn at one point.
No,
They times in this tournament they first pick Caitlyn.
I rate that 2 out of 8.
no, I don't. I don't think they're gonna early draft an AD carry here. They'll last round draft AD carry.
되게 재밌을 것 같지 않아? MSI라는 그 대회만 유일하게 한국이 못 이기는 대회. 가면 되게 재밌을 것 같지 않아?
Wouldn't it be really interesting as MSI is the only competition
Yeah, it'd be
where
great.
Koreans can
Agreed. I agree.
We agree.
It'd be great.
It'd be great.
What a great story would be if CLG won, like the team where
I want the storyline where this is like the one tournament SKT can't win. You know, that's like amazing. right?
I'd also love CLG to win because
Yeah.
The only trophy.
Can you
they get
imagine-
Hey, I was a former CLG coach. Like, you know, I
also,
love
like-
CLG.
Hey,
But also,
you
like-
weren't really a coach. You were there for the camera.
Yeah, man.
Come on, no one's
Everybody
lying.
knows
It was on
you
his
weren't
business.
never
All right,
really a coach.
let me pose this hypothetical to you.
I'm
because this-
listening.
This is very.
We
it's very-
triggered him.
So this
we
is.
did it.
Yeah.
We
All right,
triggered
I'm out. I'm out.
No, come back.
Yeah, just a few minutes.
So with CLG, if I was a coach for the camera and Zix was my assistant coach, ergo Zix was the real coach, and we were in relegations, it's Zix's fault.
Are you blaming Zix for
He
your
is.
No,
failure?
I'm saying you have to apply that logic.
Monty, this is the most disgusting, despicable thing you've ever done.
Just, go back to the game.
And you've done a few this week,
What are you doing?
apparently.
That's what you get. That's what you get. So I think Zix is a great coach, by the way, and I think he's done amazing things with CLG. What? This didn't answer my question at all.
So how did Maple die? Wait, that was a sick flash hole, I guess.
That was a great play by Afro and Stixon. Great play.
I gotta say though, like CLG, the team, like literally almost every analyst was like, I wish it was Immortals, or I wish it was TSM.
You gotta. I mean, we said
What?
that.
But literally everyone I talked to, NA casters, like everybody was like, I wish it was someone else.
Yeah, we said that.
And it's beautiful.
Yep.
That's why when someone was like, if SKT wins a game against, sorry, if CLG wins a game against SKT, does that like justify like NA
I mean-
going up? And it's like, no, they've already justified it. Like,
So, by the way, remember that Zix didn't win Coach of the Season from the NALCS. By the way, talk about a man who has done more with less. No one is going to go out like. I'm not trying to take away from Stixay. I actually do think Stixay has played well this tournament. But to pretend that Stixay and Huhi are superstar level players, or even remotely, if we were to say the two best players on CLG, we have to say Darshan and Afro.
easily.
And if you're going to say the top three players in this tournament, Xmithy actually has a claim.
I think Stixay deserves third.
Okay, but we're still talking about who is third place, right? So, and I'm not trying to, I'm
That's a
not trying
nice
to
steal.
insult.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not,
that was a nice claim. Sorry, wasn't
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not trying to insult these players because I think Stixay has played well above what I thought. But what is the real strength of CLG here? And I thought, personally, that their teamwork and their strategy wasn't going to get them very far as long as they're individually outclassed. But I've been wrong. And this has been a really good tournament for them. And they have done super well in terms of their shot calling and their macro strategy, their pick ban, everything. And I think ultimately that comes down to the coaching staff. And Afromil.
Look, it's insane how good they've been. Like they've been
It's
immaculate.
very impressive.
There's Zix on your screen.
It was a very scrappy game here. Trial by combat. The fate
To go from apprentice to an absent coach to
prevail.
an amazing coach in his own right.
No. All credit, man.
That's the only thing.
He was fucking robbed of that coach of the split for this spring.
Well,
But it's an elaborate ruse. A distraction.
he's doing all right.
Because Huhi wants to be MVP of this series.
Yeah, people have been giving Hui a lot of flack for all the other champions that he's played, but Rise is not one of
I love how Kobe
Kobe,
does.
being a one-trick pony is not making a good player.
Look, Kobe's been pretty on the ball with like calling a spade this tournament. It's not like pretending anything.
SKT with Baker.
He's great.
Almost
That was close.
unlimited amount of tools in the mid lane that they could try to pull from to punish that.
If only there was something you could do against champions that are very strong, you know. Eliminate from the champion pool back.
I love the costume in this series. It's hilarious.
It was very funny.
All right, are they gonna? Ooh.
Like the first ult, apart from the zoning ult that Afro's missed.
Playing music for him. That's the hit. Smithy gets the steal. Who was also
It's actually late on the knockback there,
Yeah.
but that was actually a dangerous situation where Carson could have had hit the smite.
He was 3 levels behind Xmithy.
Fair. You
Three
bring up, you bring up a very good point.
That's
But
a lot of
Xmithy has done so much work in this game, and we talked about the farming and everything, but really impressive that Xmithy has gotten such an advantage on the Nidalee. Just to talk about this real quick, CLG has played this very well. They had 3 lanes being pressured, and they still managed to outfarm their jungler. This is super rare
He
to
was
happen.
30 CS up at one point at least.
This is super rare to happen. You almost never see this.
This is going to be Darshan looking for the turrets done, but the minions are not moving as fast as they want.
And again, the TP is totally valid because he gets the zone on the turret.
He just needed
Worth.
to weigh in. 2 minutes 20 seconds on the Baron. That's what they have left here. Looking at the base flash walls.
미쿠미쿠 댄스.
Dance back to the fountain.
Yeah, dancing away.
Even go back. Inhibitor turrets are falling, and the inhibitors are going to follow very soon.
근데 이게 이
He's going to shambles here.
되게 CLG가 잘한 플레이가 맞고 다 좋은데
It's a great play by CLG and it's all good, but
플래시 레브즈가 너무 겁먹은 게 아닐까? 티텔포에 대해서.
wasn't. I think Flash Wolves may have been a little too scared.
No,
about
they
double
definitely
TP.
were.
Definitely.
They definitely were.
They were haunted by losing the previous game because they were similarly ahead in game 3.
지난번 게임에 똑같이 졌기 때문에 그에 대해서 되게 겁먹고 있는 거 확실하게.
Gaming not giving an inch after they find the lead, and now 28 minutes in.
이럴 거면 그냥 아지를 텔포 들지.
Stands tall for Flash Wolves.
It's like a 70 CS advantage for Xmithy on Nidalee against
Double.
Kindred.
Basically double.
Good
Yeah.
about what they've accomplished here at MSI. Let's take a look at this, and again, this is a little bit questionable for CLG, but you know, even though there is
That
a
ult
chance
was
that
late.
Barca goes
Yep.
in, he gets ejected. Smithy's able-
Still
I mean, it was the difference of
a little bit lucky.
Yeah, Smithy was able to secure it very, very close there.
Wait a second.
In the end, though, there is a chance that
How did Kindred die
gets ejected.
on ult?
Smithy's able-
Did she?
Oh, she walked off.
She lost that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smithy was able to secure it very,
Did she
very
get
close
chunked
there.
twice?
In the
Yeah,
end,
Oh,
no,
that
Stixer
hurts.
gets in there.
CLG make it
Oh,
look
yeah,
like it
yeah,
was.
she gets that
Didn't
right.
matter.
Also, she didn't die.
And they're
Yeah,
able to
she
chase
didn't
him up
die.
and get the
Thank
kills
you.
afterwards.
Too much water, Monty.
But yeah, Flash Wolves, they could be very proud of what they accomplished at MSI. Their main goal, to get that #1 seed, moving towards Worlds. They
Ooh,
were able to
Europe
do
without
that.
that #1 seed, that's going to be
Yeah.
rough business at Worlds.
Okay. So the other day, Perks in
From Europe, I would say.
I can't talk.
I
about
think
this,
Perks
never
is
mind.
here.
Yeah, Perks is here.
Hand it over.
I can
Is
talk
he
about this.
vacationing?
No, he's playing
His solo queue. He's pumping the solo queue.
They did incredibly well in the LMS.
He tweeted about solo queue.
Fuck, I want to talk about this, but I can't.
HQ, their rivals over there.
Keep it low, Monty.
근데 그래도 미국 팀이 결승 가는 거 보니까 좋긴 하다.
It actually is good to see that in a comeback finals.
People thought they would see
Yeah.
Westor and Showy
We all agree.
coming through the mid.
뭔가 재밌잖아.
It's fun. It's interesting.
Yeah, there's something about it that's fun.
They found it a little bit.
But it's not like.
3, but it seems
At least they're playing smart. Like that's the great thing is they're
Yeah,
playing
I
smart.
agree. Yeah.
They're playing solid, reliable.
So
It's
Reaper,
great.
do you think that this CLG team is the best NA team ever?
for bro. Flash Wolves looking to put everything.
이게 CLG가 북미 사상 최강 팀인 것 같아.
The Nexus turrets and
그런 거
will
같아.
get shut down. But
Even better than Cloud9 when they were super good in like season 4?
예전 시즌 3, 4 때 C9이 엄청 다 이렇게 쓸어먹고 있을 때부터 잘하는 것 같아.
나 그때 LCS 안 봐서
I
몰라.
didn't watch any else.
But you saw Worlds when they played against Samsung.
근데 로스컴 봤잖아, 삼성 상대.
근데 그거 결국 우승은 화이트가 우승하지 않았어?
But didn't White eventually win? I don't think that's
That's
what
not
he's
a
asking
fucking
about.
argument.
Yeah.
I like them also not getting ecstatic over making the
No,
final.
they just
That's great.
Yeah. They knew they were gonna win. It's good.
they're happy but not like.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is that you can tell a team's expectations a lot when you watch them win. So they're obviously pleased here, but they expected to win this. You can tell they expected to win this.
You-
If CLG was like jumping around
Yeah.
after this, you'd be like,
Like huge upset.
yeah,
I smell fluke.
I smell fluke. Like they don't have enough confidence in themselves to actually win this. But CLG is displaying happiness with a degree of calm. So their team
that's why
atmosphere
it's
is obviously very
That's
good.
why I said it was good to see. That
Yeah, it's very good to see.
they had high expectations for themselves and they met them. Obviously, it's gonna be a great. I think it could be a great. It could definitely be an SKT 3-0, but it could actually be also a great final.
I hope so.
사실 여기는 모두 어느 누구도 CLG가 결승 갈 거라고 예상 안 했잖아. 시작할 때. 4강 대진 나오기 전에 말고.
When before group stage started, like literally nobody thought CLG would make finals.
No. But look at these guys.
They're so calm.
Yeah.
They're so calm.
They probably scrims, I guess. I'm guessing pre-stage scrims. Most
I mean,
likely.
I know a lot of these guys, right? Like I know Afromu very well, and I think he's a great team captain, and I think that they just came in with their own expectations of what they should do, and they have their eyes on the prize. You know, they're not dazzled by the lights of making the final. But this is like the first time NA has made a Riot Run event final ever, and they don't seem that concerned. I think it's a really good sign for tomorrow.
Well, there's the interview after this game. Even they were like, "Look, like Afram is very much like like not talking about elation, but talking about like again coming in tomorrow as the underdog." Like, he doesn't talk. It doesn't. It's a really good interview, a steadying interview from a steady squad, which is good to see.
Yeah, very steady.
난 쟤네들 무시하고 싶은 것도 아니고 존나 멋있잖아. 프로게이머가 경기 이기고 북미 팀이 결승 가고 딱 나와서 딱 이러는데 존나 멋있잖아.
It's super fucking cool to watch them. Just be like any team, just like walking calmly and.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've never seen this before,
Yeah.
really. So as a coach, what does he think of like looking at their reaction to winning and getting into the final?
이 우승 리액션을 보고 어떤 생각이 들어?
그냥 존나 멋있다.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Ones they could almost lean on the most when it counted in an international tournament.
Who he's rise, sticks.
내년엔 내가 저기 있어야지.
Next year,
I gotta be there next
I need
year.
to be there next year.
I don't know who he'd be with though, so it's okay.
누구랑 같이?
It's his dream. Who knows?
I don't know.
Somebody hire Reaper, please.
Yeah. Please sign
Help
him.
this poor man. He needs your assistance.
Okay.
So there was a question that I had gotten in LoL history, including recent players. Each of you guys, if you were to pick 5 best members, who do you choose and why? If you were to make your best team,
From MSI.
The best what? Best team of all
team
time?
ever of all time,
As in like random 5 players or like the best like squad?
random 5 players of all of League history.
Oh Jesus.
롤 역사 전체에 4명 뽑는다면 전체에 4명을 꼽아서 팀을 만든다면 최강의 팀.
Right now?
No.
all time.
Anyone.
So Reaper top.
It's actually not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Sorry man.
People call them on Reddit the flame before flame.
Yeah, of course.
Who's the flame after
But
flame?
I'm sure
Smash.
I'm not
Maybe.
good at player. I'm sure.
You're good as coach.
Yeah, good as coach.
High Reaper.
What do you guys think?
I mean Faker's the mid laner, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
Faker,
shit.
Faker,
Faker
Faker
mid.
definitely mid.
No shit, Sherlock. Faker's mid.
Best jungle of all time. I mean, you could get a Western
Ooh.
player in there and say Diamond.
Like peak diamond,
could.
maybe.
Yeah, peak
Peak Diamond was
Yeah.
the
Fucking
the best
amazing,
player
yeah.
in the world next to Alex
Jesus
Hitch,
Christ,
obviously.
he just
When we talk about dominant junglers, though, we were kind of like
Dandy.
dandy.
Clear
Dandy.
So
Yeah.
there's like peak. There are kind of 3 choices: peak insec, peak dandy, or peak diamond.
I think Clear Love
You
is
like
deserves
jungle
a
Zen
mention.
insect.
I
Right.
disagree, but that's fine.
But you could also, I mean, if you want to rate it in terms of like
I think-
championships and stuff, then obviously Clear Love's right
Yeah,
up there.
domestic championships, whatever. Anyway, I think that
They won that MSI thing too. And IPL 5.
That was-
World Season 2.
okay, that was way later, and we've talked about this. I only thought that Clearlove got good
I
by the
know,
time
I know.
MSI rolled around. I didn't think he was good at all before that. So I think I would take Dandy personally, peak Dandy, because he was a smarter player than Insect
Top
was.
plan. Peak Flame was defined a meta.
No, I think peak Reaper, honestly, because IEM Cologne was so dominated by Reaper's play.
Was he playing mid at the top at the time? Was
Yes.
was he in the top
He's
lane?
playing Eve top.
But didn't he like randomly play mid sometimes as well?
No.
I think Looper, man. Looper.
Oh, don't you start.
No,
With-
no,
my God,
With the Mata, Win Mata, and then
Yeah, okay. So I just have the best support jungle combination of all time warding for me, and Mata says TP here.
What
Yeah.
about
TP,
what
So
about
a little bit- no, yeah, exactly.
what
No,
about
fuck you.
Pawn in the mid lane and Imp as AD carry? Sounds good, man. Best team of all
No.
time.
Fun.
I
Deft.
did-
Pawn deft?
Yep.
Wait, no faker?
No faker.
What?
Oh God, Reaper's
No.
one of the
내
Pawn.
팀이었잖아.
Kool-Aid is
Who's
with
his
Drake.
team?
Yeah.
All right.
Nope.
원석이 잘해.
We're
Pawn
denying
deft
it.
Mata.
We're denying that. So
No.
so-
Okay. So Diamond Cross or Insect or Dandy. Let's say Dandy. Dandy Faker.
It's not much, and you all deserve so much more, but I really appreciate the VODs and the time, effort, knowledge that goes into them.
If you
Everyone
think
who has made an appearance on them thus far, thank you. Much love from Y Smiley Face.
from
Thank you very
Wisconsin.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
$1.55.
If you think we want money, buy Robin a beer.
I'll buy Robin plenty of beers. Don't worry. Thank you guys. But yeah, I think my team is. So who would I get for? I'd take Reaper because it's for, like, guys. If you go back and watch that IM Cologne with the first SKT team, you will never see one player carry a fucking team through a tournament harder than Reaper did. It was ridiculous. Like, look at what a fucking trash can mightily was.
Oh my god, he was so bad.
Reaper was telling his team everything to buy, to the extent that there's this very famous story from that tournament where Raven, the 80 carry, went back and he was like, "What should I buy, Reaper?" And Reaper was like, "Buy the cloak." And he bought a Negatron cloak instead of
Oh
a
my
cloak
fucking
as like a
God.
first item on an 80 carry. And everybody at the tournament was like, "Why
What?
does he have
What?
magic resist?"
Is this
in bottom
true?
of
Okay,
the
okay.
system?
It is true,
because,
yeah. Yeah,
is
it's
it
true.
because Reaper was good, or is it just because the rest of his teammates sucked?
No, but it was both.
It was both.
이게
That's the biggest problem.
이게 그 다른 에피소드인 게 켈런에서 걸어 이게 똑같은 뜻이 이니시에이팅을 해라 이런 말인데 걸어라고 하니까 마이틸리가 진짜 걸어갔어.
Holy fuck!
I need to hear the story
That
in
just
English.
tilted me. Oh god.
I had a
Okay,
horror
so
story.
there are a lot of behinds. You want to take this one?
Okay, no, you can do this. Okay, the word koro, okay?
Is
Goro.
block, but also hook, which can mean in league initiate,
To initiate.
engage, right? So the behind story is Maitili.
마이틸리
Mightily was like he told Mightily Koro, and he literally walked there.
Instead of initiating, he like literally walked. He took that definition of the word koro.
그리고
Jesus
스타라스트한테 야 미드 막아봐 미드 타워 막아봐라고 했었는데 걔가 용 한타 전에 궁이랑 다 쓰면서 막 막은 거야. 막아가지고 얘가 용 한타 바로 졌는데 왜 궁 썼어 그러니까 막으라며 그러는 거야.
Oh my god.
And also Starburst, he told Starburst, hey,
Starless.
Starless, like, hey, block mid, and he used like fucking all abilities, everything, and he was right before Dragon Fight, and he was like, why the fuck's your ultimate before Dragon Fight? He's like, you told me to block it.
So this guy won a tournament with these jokers.
Jesus.
Like,
Crazy
he hard carried
OD
harder than anyone
let's
ever seen hard
remember-
carry.
Burgers later. Monty, we know why you didn't go Tokyo Land for MCI.
Thank you,
You've got a
Vortic.
grill to smash 3 inches deep. Unfortunately, I still have no grill friend. Jack spam Bible thump for no grill friend.
Also, let's remember he played with the likes of Sumo.
Suno.
Fuck Suno, yeah.
No, but like mightily was like
By the way,
probably the worst pro
Probably-
player
So
ever.
Suno,
Well,
Suno is
Avalon
currently
was
on
very
SK Gaming's Challenger team
Yeah, I know.
in Europe. Interesting. So anyway, all I'm saying, guys, is like go back and watch those IM Cologne VODs where Reaper played because it is you hear these stories about how everybody on his team fucked up and Reaper literally had to tell them everything to do in the game while hard carrying the game himself, and you'll realize. And this was a tournament that Fnatic with Xpeke and Soaz was in, and they lost.
So basically, Reaper at his prime was Mata in the top lane.
Yeah.
Right?
He was
but
micromanaging-
instead of dicking around, jacking off in the bottom bush, he was actually CSing and doing
And,
mini feats too.
and instead of having Dandy on his team, so instead of Mata having like Dandy and Pawn, he had Mightily and Raven and Starless and Heart. And at this point, you're like, your mind should actually be blown because no single player, my opinion is that no single player in League of Legends history has carried a tournament harder than he did at IM Cologne.
내가 나 그 은퇴하고 생각한 게 나도 서포터로 시작했으면 더 잘할 수 있었겠다라는 생각을 했었어. 나도.
After I retired, I thought, you know what? If I played support, I could have been better. Because better at macromanaging the team. and shit.
You're probably
Alright,
right.
so your top would be Reaper. Who is your top of all time?
Say
My top?
역사상 최고 탑.
No flame.
the saltiness against the successor of
No,
himself.
he said Looper already, but he was,
yeah.
we agreed he was wrong about that.
That's
Peak
fine.
ratio ADC hype.
That's actually probably true.
막눈 있잖아.
Machnoon, his prime was really good too.
Yeah,
He was super good.
한때.
I know who I'm gonna say just to tilt Monty.
Alright.
I'm gonna say Chow Mei.
You kill yourself.
Alright, so, and then Jungle, you said Dandy.
So I would say Faker, Dandy, Reaper, like at peak, like when I'm thinking about like super
Yeah.
peak performances right now. So I have to say Wei Xiao for like ultra peak performances.
Wei Xiao.
okay.
Oh yeah, 웨이샤오.
For ultra peak performances, and then for support, for ultra peak performances, you have to say Mad Life.
Yeah.
매드라이.
Not life, yeah.
But we're talking about like top
At
peak.
the best,
At the
right?
very, very best. Because Mata was obviously, I think Mata was better for longer than Mad Life. Like his consistency and his average was higher. But Mad Life at his peak was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, Mad Life at his peak was like
he was like
dramatically the best
1v9ing
player.
people.
He was the only person that showed you can carry as support.
No, he was
Ever.
he was definitively the best player in the world at his peak.
Probably, yeah.
When he was like
Prefecture.
wrecking people on Thresh and Blitzcrank and all that stuff.
Okay,
And
so
Alistair, yeah.
my support would actually be Gorilla.
어.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But the thing I feel
I think Gorilla may be the second best player in the world.
I agree with you, but the problem with Gorilla is that he hasn't had the same peak that Bad Life has. Like,
Yeah,
there
that's
was never a time that we
He's
could
never won
definitively say that Gorilla is the best player in the world. Where like Mad Life, there was about an 8-month period where like definitely he
I
was the
agree.
best player in the world.
Imagine peak Mad Life and Faker on the same team. That's just Craigasm right there. Jesus Christ! Imagine the plays they could make. The amount of feeding the enemy mid laner would do.
Best
What the
Tim of
fuck?
all time,
Sorry, my-
Long
my
Pond, a
computer
Broken
was
Shard,
idle for
Golden
too long.
Glue Kid Kitties.
So I'll have to read that one out because we didn't see it.
Well, let's read.
Best team of all time: Long Panda, Broken Shard, Golden Glue, Kid, Kitty.
Kid, go drink cyanide.
Hey, that's not very nice.
I know, I'm kidding.
He's a jungler now. Come on.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, read all the other ones.
다리안 어때?
Why do you think
Darian.
really all the best top laners come
Darian.
from Korea? This is a very interesting question that I'd like to ask Reaper. So why are all the best top laners from Korea?
왜냐면은 나랑 막눈이랑 랄락이랑 건웅이랑 한국에서 탑 4대장일 때부터 미국 솔로 랭크 페이지 탑은 우리 4명밖에 없었어.
Ever since me, Woong, Machnoon, and Lilac were in top echelons of solo queue back before the Korean server opens. Ever since then,
아, NA 서버.
yeah, and then
Season one.
before 한국 서버 열리기 전에,
어.
in the NA server, ever since then, all the top laners in the world have been Korean.
Why?
근데 왜?
왜?
왜 한국 사람만 잘하지?
왜 탑이 한국 애들이 잘해?
그건 나도 잘 모르겠다.
Not
He has
sure.
no idea either.
I think it personally. This is my opinion. Okay, I think it's because living in the top lane is very similar to living as a teenager in Korea. Because like, you have to endure all this like stupid shit that comes towards you. Things happen that's not your fault, and you have to endure all of it and still be able to carry your team while tanking up for all the damage, putting in the CC, like being able to go to college and all that shit, winning against all the.
Damn, that's very philosophical.
I know, I know.
아니면은 탑을 잘하는 게 아니라 정글을 잘 부르는 걸 수도 있어.
Or maybe it's not that they're good in top lane; they just are good at calling their junglers at the right times. Maybe.
Yeah. Or and their supports. At the right
Yeah.
times.
Fucking mosquito here.
All right, guys. I have a cast
In what's your call time? 6 hours time?
6 hours from now, so I actually do have to go to sleep for a
Okay.
very brief.
Can we
time.
read out new subscribers and?
We did it.
Well, I think we're pretty much
Well,
on the
Nobody
ball.
wants to join the setup right now, so we're done.
That's cool.
No, there was a new sub, but and I only point him out because
You had a funny name.
surprisingly, no,
Sangloksu.
yeah. So he was
So how
actually
will
a
seeding
previous
work for
student of
you?
mine.
If
So
there
I
are
used to be a high
two
school
teams
teacher,
in Pool 2,
And
is
he
there a
messaged me
chance we
today, and
will see
yeah,
you versus you in groups, or does it not work like that?
yeah. I just thought it was really interesting because he
Oh,
messaged
wait,
me and
can I give a quick shout out? Is that cool?
Yes.
My high school friend who has been in band with me for a long time, Jaime Jimenez. Love you, man. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Everyone's giving shout outs. What was the
Yeah,
last donation?
yeah.
We missed it.
So how will seeding work for EU? If there are 2 EU teams in Pool 2, is there a chance we'll see EU versus EU in groups? No, you can't have the same regions in the group, so that can't happen. Thank you for subscribing. Rectangular. Great name. Anyway, thanks for Susie Student for subscribing to the channels too. I really
That's
appreciate it.
really fun. Yeah.
And a thanks to Saint Vicious,
Special,
Expecial,
Diamond Prox, and Reapbird for coming on the stream.
and Robin.
And Robin. And Susie.
Gokforge. Hashtag
Jewel
Gokforge.
Man.
Can you guys at some point talk about pick ban for SKT, CLG, and if Rise should be a must? Ban or first pick for Faker, who he and will mid lane decide the entire series?
No, it won't because. Thank you for subscribing, that nerd. So. No, it won't because Faker has counter picks to Rise. We know he does. We know he plays Cassiopeia into it already. And Rise will not be must ban, must pick because Faker will play Azir into Rise and he won't give a fuck. So
Well, the thing is, I don't think you want to give Faker Rise. Like this game, yesterday I was like casually give
Love
Faker
you guys
Rise.
less
What?
than 3.
Oh, thank you, the
Thanks.
cult.
Very generous.
$70. Stop giving me money, the cult. I don't need your money.
That's more money for you to buy me beer.
That's all it's going to. So the cult, you're the best.
Wasted completely.
하고 싶은 말.
그리고 이제 페이커 상대로 미드 뱀픽 전략을 가지고 오는 건 좀 아닐 것 같아. 안 될 것 같아.
He thinks it's meaningless to come into the game with a pick ban strategy against Faker. Like, cause his champion pool is so fucking massive, you essentially
But he
can't
did.
ban him out.
He's just contradicting himself.
Well, yeah, but that's different. Like, they baited him in to picking LeBlanc. That's different than like trying to ban Faker's champions out. You know,
No, you can't.
Also, that was like a game
that
5
man
final
literally
strategy.
plays fucking everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, he's so fucking good.
You need to go to bed, Monty.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the cult especially. That's very generous.